me now? Yes, I
Oh,
can.
good.
Perfect. So Dimitri, you can continue, but you are on mute. Oh, so I don't know if
Oh,
yeah,
sorry. Just I started and went away. Can I continue? Just from knowledge management perspective, it's not tools which are restricting us. Yes, to an extent, yes, tools are important, but it's mostly people.
Yes.
But it's mostly people who are not prepared to use these tools.
I agree.
There is an example which is not related to IT at all and knowledge management. There are lots of people in Africa who has no shoes, so bare feet. What will be a good idea to build a factory to manufacture the boots for them and shoes? Surprise is that those boots and shoes are not bought because people do not need them.
Yeah.
So this is a story. We can, for example, they say, take horse to water or to the river, but we are not able to force it drink.
No. I disagree. I think today, let me finish.
Yes.
Today, the point is that everybody knows that we got this sort of information overload. And if you give people the tools, I'll give you a good example. There are so many good things, but all of them are not interoperable. So for example, in Google, you can have Google Keep, which is great for keeping track of the flow of websites you see, but it is actually now interoperable with Google Docs, but you cannot share it outside, or it's very inconvenient. The point is that if I can give, which I build, a tool which all it does works like Google Keep, but it actually integrates with your own personal knowledge management, and also can potentially integrate with any other like-minded applications. It's already integrating with Memex and hypothesis annotations, and actually turns the conversations, gives a platform for turning conversations around annotations. Now, I think that is something that people would want to use. And
yes,
the point is that yeah.
Yeah, I think it's what's also Dimitri was saying is that we need to come up with a unified way of structuring our knowledge to be able to enable that interoperability. And
exactly.
If you look at what social media is doing, it's what TikTok is doing. They're able to share with every other platform versus the other ones are proprietary and then doesn't share, and I explain the success of it. So, but that's required that we agree on a common way of sharing our knowledge. I mean, choosing the language, the structure, the type of data, how we model it.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part, is having a consensus on that, which is the hard part. And it's cultural, meaning in some areas they are used to do one way, some others used to do another way. And globally, it's hard to find a way that is everybody agree upon.
Can I just again switch to my point that tools and protocols are great. I have no doubts that we can do them. Almost everything that we can imagine. But the problem is, it's from my experience. Being an administrator of this forum, my work of curating information and knowledge was appreciated. The things I've been doing on Like in Mind. The community is appreciating the work, but out of 6 to 7, maybe 1,000 people, no one really joined me in my role of a memory agent, as I call it, as a knowledge curator. So just imagine, so 7,000, it's already quite a number.
But no. The point is that's exactly why I'm saying that if you build a way of exchanging the knowledge that I and Trailmarks users can curate for themselves. And if you make the process of actually contributing to contributing or just accessing the knowledge, then you will get people who will create. I mean, it's like, I'll give you a good example. I'm integrating deeply with Wikidata. That means anytime I write something, the system automatically shows if that is known in Wikidata. And I can link to it, and I can integrate it, and I can actually get the established, notable, defined ontology. And I use that. Now, I could do the same thing with like in mind, and I want to do it. And in fact, in Wikidata, I'm already doing this curation myself. I'm proposing new link types. I'm contributing new nodes. And I would like to be able to do that with like in mind. And the point is that if we solve the interoperability problem, then people will come. You know, then people will
Yes.
be interested in that.
Yeah,
Because
that's building bridge, I guess. Is that
sorry?
right? It's building bridge between the system.
Yes, it's really just an easy way. That's a very good way of putting it. It's all about this is what TrailHub is essentially, is give you an easy way of bridging knowledge silos.
Yes.
Yes.
Personal knowledge silos.
There
Yes,
is a story about hospital. In the US, they try to standardize the hospital and then have their sharing their database. And it was very cost ineffective, and then because there was so much legacy system and so on. And they have a different approach in China, is that they say, oh, we keep the system how it is, heterogeneous, whatever, people still use their same old software, but we bring point-to-point bridges. And they have been able.
Yeah, that's exactly what TrailHub gives you the framework for. Exactly.
Yeah.
That you don't need. I mean, this is really even in the peer-to-peer world. That's a really important thing. That if I write about something and somebody through the annotations or other ways discover that we have a shared interest, actually the automatic discoverability is built into the data model. Okay, so if you write about collective intelligence, if so, you can find out everybody in the ecosystem who writes about that topic. So what I'm saying, that once you discover other people and they use terminology, because that's the whole point of personal knowledge management, to start with that. This is why consolidated knowledge management to begin with never works, because even in Wikidata, just to make one claim, it takes you so much work of finding out how it is done there. If you reverse the project the other way around and let people speak their own language, and then as a separate curation process, discover how it is called in like mind, or what the predicate used in, or what the ontology in Wikidata, and just provide the mapping.
Yes, that's what Dimitri was saying, is that the curation of knowledge needs to be done. And if this is a human being that has to do that, then it's a problem. But if we have an AI or an automatic way of doing this,
no. I think this is what I find in practice, and it may be that I'm just too exceptional. But I think people will very soon discover the sheer value of linking their way of articulating to a common or alternative ways, because then suddenly everything they have in that context become accessible from another context.
That means there is an automatic curation behind the scene.
No, there is no need for automation. This is with the Wikidata. I just say my term. I use the term diary, and they talk about it as journal. I just say same as. Wikidata is open. That's the beauty of Wikidata. That it doesn't force you to use common terminology, except it gives you a way of mapping your idiosyncratic ontology into the common one.
But that means it's because there is a Wikidata engine behind that do the indexing, right?
No, it's not an engine. It's just a form. It provides you the editing capabilities to do this.
Okay.
I mean, the idea clearly in the long term, yes. I mean, Jetpack doing work like that. So just the same way you can get the algorithm which do automatic entity recognition. So it can actually do some work with automatic mapping of links. But that also requires some human approval, really.
Let me say, still the picture in my mind is too complicated to express well.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. Just I'm not express myself fully. Just what happens.
Yes.
Yeah. Just I do not say that there are no people who do not who need this tool. I do not. I'm not saying it. What I want to tell that the percentage of these people is too low. It's a very thin layer.
I agree with. I do agree with that. Yes.
Yes. Some few percent of people recognize the importance of this work. And again, it's not tens of percent, it's a few percent of people of population. They see the advantage of curated knowledge, but they are not able to do it themselves. So they need an agent. In the case of humans as agents, it's a laborious work. It takes so much of time and effort to build the memories for organizations. So organizations looking on these efforts, they just say, no, we are not doing it. So I'm in this conversation for at least 10 years with business owners. They are not doing it. Yeah?
Yes, but if you go to your business owners and say, well, actually, we have here a community where everybody is articulating their own way of thinking about or knowledge in a way which is at least compatible with a pooled way, then suddenly they may say, well, actually, if we can actually and if the only task is to bring in these disparate knowledge sources or plug into them and curate the existing knowledge which is already created, that they may react differently to your proposal.
Yes, but still, I did not see first thing that I did not see yet unified conceptual space and holistic ontology where people
well, you don't need a unified. This is my point, which I may be wrong.
Guri, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, sorry, Guri. Just if we're talking about a collective subject, it means that his consciousness can be just one entity. It means that his conceptual space is only one. So if there is a team, it can be only one conceptual space.
Yes, but it could emerge from created alternatives as a result of an agreement process.
Yes, and again, there are teams who are creating their memories. Yes, the process is there, but their memories, because of this barrier, it's a too laborious process. Their memories are not systematic. They are not really expressing the intents and plans and everything, what's happening in the teams. So this is my experience. Yeah, the platforms that they are working with, for example, are too heavy to run on computers. And so it's just quite a lot of problems. And look, on this very thin layer of professionals, even in this field, how many of them are making viable teams and actually produce services and products to communities and societies? Well, honestly, it's maybe just one, two. I cannot really name them. You see, this is a problem. Yes, we can build tools. Yes, our ideas, technical ideas, are perfect. But the challenge is to make these ideas working for society. Only in this case, we can achieve the backflow of value from society and support our work. That's the only thing I'm trying to express. I do not know good examples of, well, actually I know it's the examples are collected on Like in Mind, but they are just single good examples of knowledge management working for companies.
But is it because of the friction? I mean, if we just need tools to reduce the friction so that people find it easy to use.
I believe yes. When the work of agent is appreciated and well paid, then yes.
Okay.
And also the humans here should be probably removed from this process, or at least their work should be automated and barrier to participation should be lowered. In this case, we will do training for other people, showing them, look how easy it is to build memories where you can see everyone's thoughts and contributions on different topics. So this is my understanding.
No,
yes, with technical tools. Yeah, no, we can lower barrier to participation.
I think that the more fundamental barrier, which is Ulrich Smith on ResearchGate is writing an awful lot about, is the idea is that I certainly think that your personal knowledge work, the one that you do internally, is private. And even if you give, as they did, look, they did this 20 years ago. Lotus Notes was a fantastic knowledge management system, but people just didn't write their thoughts into it because they're not prepared to give it to the company they work for.
Yes, that's another point. Yes,
that's
just
the
picture is big.
The decentralized web gives us the opportunity which we didn't have up till now, which is to say, okay, you can do real knowledge creation privately and share it with any organizer, any team that belongs there. And that yes.
Sorry, just I cannot agree because I studied this topic 25 years ago, and yes. Already at that time we could technically build these knowledge bases, the private knowledge bases.
Yes.
But already at that time there was no interest in this work at all. Just with all those primitive tools, I showed that there was actually potential if this knowledge sharing goes beyond a certain threshold of participants, it starts paying off. No interest.
Well, I think whatever you experienced 25 years ago is not valid because people like I didn't know that this is a problem that people have. Except that 25 years ago, nobody knew that they had this problem. Today, it is everyday experience that we are flooding in this information flow. And unless we find a decent way of keeping track, we just lose our minds.
Theoretically, yes.
Practically, we do.
Gary, sorry, just for interrupting, but practically what happens when people think about learning a new technique or tool, or when they find someone's ideas on the same topic they do not really understand or share, they think, oh, it's easier to develop it from the scratch. Yeah, so that's how, and that's how the wheels starts reinventing. And there is another side of the same model, of the same medal, sorry, that reinventing wheels itself actually has the cultural value. That's how cultures are built and maintained. That's where people reinvent wheels and see the same situation from different sides.
Yeah, I agree. The problem of all tools adoption or all standard is that the adoption is very hard. And reinventing is always easier because it's the way you integrate with your own thought, with your own sphere, and that's the way you assimilate and learn. The reinventing is important. And that's why federated wiki is good, because you fork the information from somewhere else in your own words locally.
Yes, yes. And if you lower barrier to finding this information kind of automatically. My vision is only when we have a cognitive assistant telling you, look, what you're working on is already here, and give it to you. Or what you're working on, there is a team in the same field. Do you want to communicate with them? Maybe invite to solve your problem, something like this.
Yeah, I support that model.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, that really means three things has to happen. The first, personal creation, community or whatever level merging. But the most important thing, as you say, is discoverability. But I think it is now possible to build systems like that, which are decentralized at the same time, can be federated and be discoverable. It is now possible.
That's still difficult to have a true decentralized discovery system. I mean, today,
no, it's not. It's not. It is now perfectly possible.
Really? I want to learn about that.
It's look, we are kind of professionals in this field, and this seems not so difficult for us.
Okay.
But once I met a person from hold on, just I cannot tell. It's some subfield of artificial intelligence, and he said, "Why are you not using this tool? It's so easy. Look, how is that?" And he showed me work of some scripts. I told you, you think people will use it? Yeah, it's so easy. So what is so easy and trivial and obvious for us is actually a challenge for the big majority of people.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying about discovery too is that every way of the web is organized today with search engine, and a search is totally different than this discovery because it's centralized. And there is very few truly distributed search engine, and so
there is a search engine for the whole IPFS.
Yeah, I know that one.
But so as soon as you just make that switch and say, okay, I'm going to publish my work on IPFS, that is a search engine.
Yes, but we're already talking from the point of view of knowing about these tools. Yeah. Imagine people who are in the middle of their problem. They think, how I'm going to solve this? And so then they basically select the method which is coming to their mind random. And if they have no idea about this kind of tools, they will never select this kind of methods.
No, but I think I see the solution to this, and if you talk, there's a whole ecosystem of people like the Solid, the Memex, the Topic Quest, and Hyper Knowledge,
yes.
and all these. There's a groundswell of
yes.
initiatives now, which, as long as they agree of whatever form of the core values being user autonomy, privacy, and interoperability. If you not just me, you Topic Quest, the Memex, and Memex is actually building this. Memex builds this universal sort of storage model, which basically enables you to store and index anything you put into there. Okay, that's itself an open capability. Anybody can use it free. So as long as, for example, you integrate your work with the Memex, I integrate my work with the Memex, and also provide a way of each of us peer-to-peer exchanging data, then next time any user in this network of interoperable things. So if Memex is now up to 10,000 users, and it's gone from 1,000 to 10,000 in less than 10 months. So, but you know, Hypothesis got 5 million users. My trademark thing integrates with Hypothesis. It basically can pool Hypothesis users into this shared interoperable world. So suddenly you will discover that this network of networks of interoperable to participants, we can do a sort of hyper viral reach of people, because it's not just me. I'm doing some product and trying to trying to market it or trying to get traction. But if I interoperate with 5 others, then my traction ability, we can actually multiply each other's visibility, and suddenly you will find people who already, even without knowing, are part of this decentralized, discoverable alternative world.
Yes, I agree. The possibilities are there. And so now it's a time for the case studies. We need to show how on this environment, in this multi-platform environment, we see tools forming, emerging teams.
Yes,
we need to show emergent teams which are also viable.
Yes.
And also connected to the actual world.
Yes, and practical way when we talking, I really wanted to ask you to say, would you be prepared to be part of this network?
Always, and I always invited everyone I talk to. So this is my the first question is to build a collective subject towards and start working towards a global subject. And so you see,
what I mean is, are you prepared to work on the interoperability layer or contribute or plug in?
Yes, but to work on this, I need to see that the team is viable.
Yes.
Well, then we are. Then if you not, then it's a chicken and egg. We can become a viable team if we set our mind to it. If we wait for the team to prove itself to be viable, that team will never emerge.
Yes, so we are talking about the process of emergence, and yes, and the process of emergence is when, by a luck or any other principle, we have a combination of components which are sufficient for building the system. So we are talking from system thinking perspective,
yes,
right?
But I mean, I really invite you to go to check out Digital Life Collective, join it as an organization, and you will find hundreds of like-minded people who are already open towards collaboration.
Guri, unfortunately, I'm in this process for at least 10 years. We have a list of 100,000 projects working on the global sustainability. And I believe we all know what is the current status of global sustainability now.
Yes.
And I know what is what are the mechanisms which are not allowing those projects to merge.
Okay,
I'm talking to Jack Park for, I don't know, 7 years. I lost count of years now, about merging our efforts. I spoke with Jervis. He's the brain. The biggest model of a brain, say, with the same proposal. So everyone is putting himself in the center of his universe. And to make this kind of teams emerge, we need to shift from egocentric model and perception of our world to allocentric, which is...
that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not saying join trail marks. I'm saying that let's build a common framework, which is shared.
Yes.
I'm not egocentric. That's it.
I'm not saying.
No, it's important that I'm offering an interoperability layer.
That's right. I'm not blaming anyone about current status. I'm just saying that my observations are such and such, and these observations are confirmed by this kind of model. I'm just talking to you as a scientist. Well, so we have a hypothesis which is saying that because of such and such features, we are not seeing these systems emerging.
But I disagree. There is hypothesis which is completely open and interoperable, born interoperable. They're not about capturing users. They basically do the things so that other people can actually interoperate. That is Memex, which is built interoperable. Okay.
Sorry for interrupting. Just I'm ready to join Memex right now if they support my work. If the value floor of Memex is already in place, I need to see it. I need to see that this team has a common vision, they have an action plan, they have roles which are distributed, and so we have the value flow in place.
Well,
If they are not able to, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
You're right, is that to be able to see those emergence of the team, they needs to have, the team needs to have an autonomy in terms of energy and effort and work that is putting it. And that's possible only if there is a common interest that is allocentric, like you say. And that people that are autonomous, meaning they can sustain the effort within the team for the duration of the project.
So I'm happy to give all my knowledge and experience and skills of philosophical understanding, prototyping of collective memories, and a few other things. Yeah, so I worked out through the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm happy. So this is my role. I can work as a curator. Just my work needs to be appreciated, and my life basically needs to be supported by this project. If not, I will keep doing what I'm doing now, which is helping businesses to survive and develop. I will be happy to leave this my current activity any second of my time. I need to see the viable team and invitation. Not only invitation, I will ask them to be a part of those teams. Yes, this did not happen to the moment. It never happened to the moment. This is my experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same mode, but that's we have to create that value flow. I think it's, if we focus on creating that value flow, then people will jump in.
Absolutely. And then seeing our success, our good experience of using such and such tools on such and such principles, we will see emergence of many teams like this. We can tell, look, we have this person in this horrible, talking about myself, financial situation, yeah, with this set of knowledge. We have this person with this set of programming tools. We have the other people. And look, just when they came together, we see emergence of a new system. We see emergence of a team, which is viable, just from scratch. If we show this experience, we can expect many teams formed on these principles.
Yeah. So that means that we have to focus on creating the value from the start.
Value from the what?
From the start. So that it's basically the seed, the seed of any type of emerging project is that you need to have enough resources to nourish the team until it's sustainable.
Yes. It's a seeding. Yes, that's how Amber is calling it as well, I think. It's a seeding of teams.
Seeding of team, yes.
And
who calls it Amber, or what did you say?
Yeah, Amber is the manager of the project we are in with Michelle, and she is working, to provide the background for inviting other people in team. So we are now in kind of a beginning of emergence of the team now. We are talking about peer-to-peer collective intelligence platform. We are working with Michelle. And just we can hope that with certain periods of time, we are ready to invite other people on the board. But nevertheless, what Yuri is talking about is extremely important. I'm looking forward of joining any team who working in this direction. First of all, because it will support my life. Sorry for being blunt, and also for because all this work is work towards peer-to-peer collective intelligence, and at the end of the day, it's a formation of a global subject, which will only when we coordinate our actions around a common idea, we will be able to solve global problems like what we're facing now with all this climate and other stuff. So this is my theoretical understanding, and I believe that the tools we are talking about will help a lot. The only problem is how to get us developers organized and to make ourselves viable. Yes. And realize this all this big goal.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is roughly a part of my big picture in mind. I don't want to be very disappointing. Just this is my experience and understanding. Maybe we can talk about some good examples, and maybe we can talk about some, say, open business models which are applicable for this project developed further.
Okay, I got a practical suggestion or question.
Yes.
Do like in mind as it is? Does it have a? I'm sure it does, but can I use an API to run searches and basically surface in my work what if there is anything in there? Obviously, you have to be logged in or whatever. Is there any API that I could use? You know, I really would like to use like in mind along with the Wikidata. It's basically to discover identities, discover entities, discover conversations on a given topic that is adjacent to what I'm doing. So just the same way I would like, I want to be able to link to other people's work in some subject, you know, personal work. I would like to link to your global subject treatment of it. Yes.
Yes. API is there. I can send you a link shortly.
Yes, please.
And moreover, it's last year it was a project run by students who succeeded in downloading pages from prototype, not like in Mind, but from their prototype. So they can download pages from PBWorks, modify it on their computers, and then upload back to the server.
Okay, so you have some library like that. I would like to be able to use
Yes. I can give you all the information I have, and the link to GitHub for this project.
That would be brilliant. That would be brilliant. Yes.
So in this way, for example, on these principles, we can already build a federated wiki on PBWorks platform, where each of the participants have his own space on PBWorks, but the mix of all the information is happening on their computers. So this is another kind of alternative to TiddlyWiki. So to me, this is not critical. Just for me, whatever is easiest and efficient is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the main thing is to build a team which is viable and capable of realizing this product or project in as less time as possible, because time is ticking.
Just one message about time. We still have like a little bit more than 1 minute out of the 40 minutes, and then we can connect if you want to continue after. But we will keep it in 1 minute.
Yes, thanks.
No, it was very helpful. Thank you very much. I think I certainly would like to follow up on the API and hopefully get back in a couple of weeks' time. Hopefully with a real demo and see if that opens up any new avenues. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that building bridge between our systems will help us to understand the capability of both systems, and then also collaborate for sure.
Yeah.
So if I understand, Michelle will focus on TiddlyWiki, Guri on PBWorks, and see what will happen.
Yes.
Then.
Yes, and Michelle, if you, I'm very much interested in the TiddlyWiki space. I do want to be a bridge to TiddlyWiki as such. Okay. Eventually, but so I'll probably come back to you on that one. Yeah.
I would like to know also, do you have an API on your system so that we can also have some? way of discovering your database through and then merging with ours?
Well, yes, it will have one, but at the moment, I believe in the pool model. But also, yes, it will have. You can have
the previous session, so I'm continuing on this one.
All right. Okay, I will send invitation to
It's the same link.
Guri.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But we can just conclude now. I mean, we have
Yes.
good exchange. What is the name of Guri platforms again?
Just a second.
I forgot.
Just you know, my memory is no good. That's why I'm using like in mind.
Exactly.
Oh, what I'm doing now is opening his page, and his page should.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine. So we just conclude,
Yeah.
and I'm saying that I do not remember the name of the platforms. That's why I found Guri's page on Like in Mind, where I suppose the platforms are listed, the projects.
Yeah, what is the name of your platform, Guri? I forgot.
Well, it's got too many, but it's basically Trailmarks and Trailhub and Opidocs and MindDrive and Mindgraph. So all this complex, but the Trailmarks is the minimum viable tiny little thing.
All right. So to conclude, then I see that we have a lot of in common. I believe that we have a common vision as well, and at the moment we can look in TiddlyWiki and PBWorks as a potential interoperability platforms to get information from and to
exchange, yes, share,
for the exchange.
Yes.
And if that worked, and well, from my again perspective, the main challenge is not building protocols and tools, but emergence of teams on these tools and protocols. And if we see these teams emerged as a result of our activities, that will be for myself a big success, which can be presented anywhere in conferences and anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Guri?
Yeah, but I mean, the crucial thing is, this is why interoperability is the key. The link systems, sorry. Yeah.
So are we planning to, I mean, do we schedule something?
Okay, right, okay, fine. Yeah, thank you.
It would be nice to have the clock ticking, and if we meet weekly, just to say hello,
okay.
It would be good. Thank you. Just Guri already turned off.
Okay, perfect.
I will send him a message. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for your support.
And I will share the audio.
Hello?
I will share the audio back once I get it.
Right. Yes, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
You too.